Big Boar BBQ presents Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV with Dan the Voice Dykman, Billy Doc Niles, and Paul the Statman Riker. Brought to you by Big Boar BBQ, Highway 16 West Salem, in La Crosse on 3rd Street downtown and George and Gillette Street. Big Boar BBQ, now that's a mouthful. By Cory Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialist, serving the La Crosse area since 1929. Cory Heating and Air Conditioning.
Welcome in, folks. Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV, brought to you by Big Boar BBQ. As you can see right behind me, and as a matter of fact, the whole building is Big Boar BBQ. Once a year we come out as part of the 608 Piston Pounders Car Club. We take the entire TV show here. And today we've got Matt Henderson, NASCAR driver. He's got both his super late and late model out here. 3 street stocks from La Crosse Speedway. So Steve Brasda is going to join us, Cheeto Haessig is going to join us, and John Burbach. But we've got to start the program with the man that has been so busy this year. And we're not just talking cooking the best barbecue, which has been voted on numerous times, and the best catering numerous times. It's the other things that you've really got embedded in and associated with, and that is Jerry Beyer, the guy that owns all this. Good to have you, man.
I'm really happy to be here. Happy to have you folks here. Happy to have the Henderson crew and all the cars.
Brand new fried chicken. Just had some right there. That is outstanding. How long have you had that now?
We've had that about 2 months. We developed a recipe that's got 16 different herbs and spices. Just a little dig there. And it's been going over real well.
He wouldn't give Bill Niles and I the 16. He would even give us one of the spices, maybe salt, maybe pepper, and that's
There's
it.
pepper in it.
Okay, I got one of the 16.
Salt. You can have 2.
That just adds flavor to this huge menu that you guys have developed here, and it's not just in the restaurant. It's not just in the north side of La Crosse. I'm hearing from a lot of people being in the hospitality industry now that have had your catering, and man, is that taken off.
Yeah, we do a lot of catering. We do it large and small. We do it for just a small gathering. If a company has a meeting and they got 20 people and they want food, we'll bring it. Anything up from that, we'll do 1,000 people.
Community events, you're getting more and more involved in the community events to the point where I see you driving that van more than I see a regular cab running around La Crosse. You're putting in some legwork, my friend.
Well, when you're in a community, you need to be involved in it. I think that's important, and we try to be.
Talking about the community, you've been involved now with some of the cars. You're going to see Jesse has taped out here. Second or third year now, you've been with the 608 Piston Pounders. I had the luxury to DJ your huge car show out at the fairgrounds last weekend, and this has slowly grown into being one of the premier car shows and groups in western Wisconsin.
Yeah, we're real happy to be part of the Piston Pounders. They've kind of made this their unofficial home. We have a cruise night here the first and third Wednesday of every month, and they show up in force. They're a really great group of people.
One of the biggest things, if you weren't there last Saturday as part of their second annual car show and swap meet at the fairgrounds, there was a lot of cars there, a lot of people there, a lot of people were eating, a lot of people were buying artifacts and things of that nature. Everything was going towards, you weren't going in your pocket, it wasn't going in Blaine's pocket, everything was going towards special needy groups.
Yeah, the Piston Pounders are real good that way. It's a pretty loose organization. There's not a lot of rules to it. We take on a lot of people from any interest in cars may be involved. And we pick a couple of charities. Cancer is one. And any extra money we have goes to charity.
Again, that's 608 Piston Pounders Car Club. We're going to be talking with Blaine Lee during the show today, talk about the organization itself and how it's growing and how they've taken Big Boar BBQ as their host site, I guess you could say, for these shows. Let's talk back about the menu again because, you know, I'm all about the food. My big thing here is burnt ends. At the car show, the sandwich I had was so good and so big, but you were telling me it's kind of a different way that you're slicing that meat there.
Yeah, we've changed our brisket. We used to slice it. Now we chop it, and what that does is really infuse the outside flavor of the meat with the inside. It stays a lot more moist and retains the seasoning and the smoke flavor, and the feedback we've had on the brisket's been phenomenal.
Home of the best coleslaw in the world. The baked beans are simply outstanding. You've got so many different barbecue meat choices to choose from. What would you say would be the top 2 that people are always requesting, whether they're just coming into the restaurant or maybe they see you out catering?
Pulled pork and brisket. Pulled pork probably because it's the least expensive. People that like ribs really love the ribs, but pulled pork and brisket are the top two.
And Niles called me on this last year when we taped here. I said I never get ribs because there's never enough meat on there to satisfy me. He called me out last year, and you did. You put me under with the ribs we had here last year. They were outstanding.
Yeah, we buy an extra meaty baby back rib. That's actually what it's called. And they've got a lot of meat on the bone, and you won't be disappointed.
Real quick, as we got to wrap up the segment, what's in the future for Big Boar BBQ?
Well, the future is hopefully just growth. We hope to be bringing back breakfast in this fall yet for at least 3 days a week, and we'll go from there. More catering.
Check them out on Facebook. Whoever runs the Facebook page does a phenomenal job. They've got daily specials. They got lunch specials, dinner specials, weekly specials. Check them out. It's Big Boar BBQ on Facebook, and the website is
www.bigboarbbq.com.
That's all you need to know. And I would just recommend, like we do, just stop in the location here in West Salem. When we come back, who are we going to talk to? That's right, Paul Reichert's going to talk to some street stock drivers here in the Big Boar BBQ parking lot, part of the 608 Piston Pounders Car Cruise.
Want to keep your employees happy? Buy them all lunch. Hi, Jerry here at Big Boar BBQ. We cater lunches all the time for businesses big and small, 10 to 500. We can handle it. Give us a call and we'll help you figure out a great menu. Let's face it, good people are hard to find, so we can help you keep the ones you got. My grandpa used to say, you want to keep someone happy? Feed them barbecue. Big Boar BBQ, Highway 16 West Salem.
Just come on down for the best food in town at Big Boar BBQ.
And online at bigboarbbq.com.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that actually matter.
Hey, Dave.
Like giving Jeff his ladder back before he takes it back. Or where to put the food when you both get the groceries. Or the doggy door that just became a raccoony door. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be this. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your 2018 American Standard Building a Higher Standard Award winner. Call Carey today for your free estimate.
Hi, race fans, and welcome back to Big Boar BBQ presents Seven Rivers Racing here in KQG TV. We are here at Big Boar BBQ here in West Salem right now. I'm Paul Reichert, part of the trio. Dan and Bill are probably munching down some barbecue right now while they make me do this interview here. And we're going to spend some time talking to the No Limits Racing team. We're going to spend some time here talking to Steve Brasda. Steve, good to see you.
Nice to see you too.
All right, and we're going to be talking to the one and only Cheeto, Clayton Haessig. Clayton?
How's it going?
Doing good. And we're going to talk to Smalls himself, Jonathan Burbach. Jonathan?
Hey, how's it going? Nice to be back.
Yeah, good to have you guys back here. So, you guys have been in a pretty good season here in the street stocks. Cheeto, how's the season been going for you so far?
Oh, it's been a little rough, as you can see by the front end, but I mean, well, we're still digging and we're still going, fifth at 2 tracks. Can't complain.
Yep. And running at Toma also, it's pretty challenging. Has been a pretty fun time for you, I guess.
Oh yeah, it's been a blast, and just, I mean, I can't complain either way. It's just the competitors out there are just so tough, and it's just been a blast to run.
Oh yeah, and the feature win for you out there at Toma as well.
Well, that was a special night. That was for Carl Fensky
yes.
when he passed away. That was actually the day after, so that was actually a very special win for me.
Yes, and a great tribute to former modified racer at Mississippi Thunder, Carl Fensky here. And Jonathan, how's the season been going for you so far?
Well, since the last time I was talking to you, it's been going pretty well. Got some novelty wins, heat wins under my belt again. Added a few more stickers to the windshield, so I really can't complain. The cars have been running great. We haven't had to do too much in between races, so really can't complain about anything right now.
No. And third, I believe, in the street stock points here, so season's been going great for you. In contention for that championship. Thinking about it at all?
Well, it's always in the back of my mind. There's also the side of me that doesn't want it, because that means I can't run next year. So, yeah, it's pretty solid in third right now, but I got 2 people ahead of me, Jake and the Larson. Those 2 pretty fast, pretty hard to beat cars. So it's definitely going to be a battle going in these last few races.
Yeah. Oh, yes. And Steve, of course, you are, I guess you could say, the mechanic here at No Limits Racing, but got back behind the wheel this season. How did that come about?
Well, I wanted to do something, and I had a a talk with John before he passed away, and he said, he says, you need to come back to the track. He said, no, you got to buy my car, and I promised him to do that, and so I'm trying to race as best I can for him because he was a special kind of racer, and I'm just a mechanic.
Yes, of course we won't.
Far more than a mechanic.
Yeah.
Steve. Far more than a mechanic.
Yes, he is. Definitely, John Aaron, definitely I guess you could say the godfather, of the street stock class, the two-time champion there. And let's see, you guys got the tag team novelty win here a couple weeks ago. How much fun was that?
That was a blast.
That was special. That was definitely special. That was definitely a team.
There's still a little bit of green paint on my right front
there's
there.
a little bit on the
little
back
tag
of
back
mine,
there.
But, we got to work together to do that stuff. And I saw him in my rear view. I'm like, okay, I'm going to step down, and he tapped me as soft as he could and went away with it.
Yeah, and it was a little different in the tag team race. They used to have to have the teammates in turn 2.
Pass the hat.
Yeah, but then now it's like kind of track and field, a relay race, trying to find your partner there.
It was definitely interesting. It was a lot of fun not knowing what we're getting into when we go out there, and all of a sudden he comes out of turn 4, and I'm like, all right, time to go. And all of a sudden there's a whole pack of cars. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
all
all I saw. I was like, okay, there's a whole pack of everybody. I'm like, okay, where is he? Shark fin. There we go.
Had to find a hole through there somehow and just get up there and tag him before he got out of turn 4 or turn 2 there. So that was fun.
Oh, yeah. And you ran that, I believe, the backwards race during the Smash-O-Rama here. That one's been interesting.
We both ran that one. I was leading it the whole time till we came down to the last 2 turns coming to the checker.
Yeah.
Coming through 4, the 80 kind of got in my front end a little bit, spun me. He ended up taking that one.
Yeah.
Then about 3 weeks later, realized I had a crack in the radiator.
Oh, wow.
That was fun. We got that fixed now, though. We're good.
Yep. And I guess you guys are the founders of the street stock class, having the nice cars, looking good here. I guess you guys have really been a great example setters for the street stock division here over the years.
Well, a great way to look at it, actually, if you look at my plaques from the years, you see the very first year, they didn't look so great. Next year, they looked better, and then they've been getting better and better. That very first year was me, Taylor Dobbs, and John Aaron. That was special. We went 1, 2, 3, and then the next year 1, 2, 3, just a little bit different order. So it's been a blast.
Oh yeah.
And I gotta say, everybody on the track has been following with because their cars been getting a little bit nicer and a little bit beautiful, prettier, but they're not any comparisons to ours.
And
I don't know about Chino so much anymore.
And quickly, let's talk about the plaque here, the Family of the Year from Your Choice Ministries from a couple of years ago. How'd that come about?
That was actually a huge surprise for the team. That was the year that I actually had 9 cars out there. We had a lot of drivers on the team, and John Aaron was still with us, and that's probably the most important and most special award that we've ever gotten.
Throughout the summer, we went on vacations. We went and did this and that. Beside racing, we were always next to each other and always helped each other, and it was just a very special award to get.
And that's every time I even speak to sponsors, we're not just a team, we're a family.
Oh, yes, that's true. All right, thanks to the No Limits Racing bunch here for their time. And when we come back, we're going to throw it back to Dan Dyker after the break. He's going to talk to the head Piston Pounder from the 608 Piston Pounders Club, Blaine Lee. We'll be right back with more Seven Rivers Racing right after this, presented by Big Boar BBQ.
You want barbecue, but she doesn't? What do? Hi, Jerry here at Big Boar BBQ. We know not everyone wants barbecue. That's why we feature so much more, like our fried chicken, Philly steak sandwich, meatloaf, great burgers, salads, wraps, and more. So keep peace in the family, stop in and try something from our extensive menu. It's so much cheaper than a divorce. Big Boar and more, Highway 16 West Salem.
Just come on down for the best food in town at Big Boar BBQ.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that actually matter.
Hey, Dave.
Like giving Jeff his ladder back before he takes it back. Or where to put the food when you both get the groceries. Or the doggy door that just became a raccoony door. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be this. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your 2018 American Standard Building a Higher Standard Award winner. Call Carey today for your free estimate.
Welcome back. Seven Wars Racing on KQEG TV, brought to you by Big Boar BBQ, according to the sign. And as you probably know already, we are at Big Boar BBQ. We come out once a year, and we tape the show out here. We get to dine on some of the fantastic food inside. And we've also been a part now of the 608 Piston Pounders Car Club. We were here with you guys last year. Matter of fact, 2 years ago we tried this.
Yeah.
And we had a little thunder and lightning which chased us inside Blaine Lake.
Yeah, we got rained out a little bit. We came back strong.
Last year was outstanding. You tell the weather today is outstanding. Talking about the weather, I greatly appreciated being invited to be your DJ on Saturday at the second annual car show and swap meet. I can't wait to come back next year. Had the temperature came down a little bit, man, I tell you what, the fairgrounds would have been loaded with classic cars.
Yeah, we were happy with the turnout. It certainly could have been better, but being it was so hot and the big doings down Clear Lake, Iowa, that kind of put a damper to cars coming up here. And a lot of their clubs, half of them came to ours, the other half went to Clear Lake. Then unfortunately, there was a funeral out in Fountain City for Elmer, and there was a lot of cars up there. But the good thing is next year, hopefully there's no funerals, but next year Clear Lake doings will not interfere with our car show next year because theirs starts on Friday night. So that'll really be good.
Next year I'm going to make Doc Niles come out, and he's going to teach people how to limbo, and we're going to bring the hula hoops. Got to get at that 50s, 60s flair. Not sure if you want to watch that, but maybe he will demonstrate. Who do we got with us? Who'd you bring with us today?
This is one of our main coordinators that works with me on all the events and all the planning. This is Cory Hanson.
Cory, number one, welcome to the program. Number two, he was as you could tell by the face, standing out in the sun for an hour and a half, giving away over, I think it was 50 or 60 trophies. Nicely done Saturday.
We try. It was about 60. Yeah, 50 to 60 trophies.
And you learned that your phone can only get so hot and you got to switch phones.
Yeah. If you stand in the sun for too long, your phone turns off.
Talk about the fun being a part of the 608 Piston Pounders Car Club.
It's a lot of fun because we get to see a lot of different faces. You get to see a lot of different cars. You get to meet a lot of cool people and hear different stories of their cars, and nice family-oriented club. So.
Now, I think you have to own a classic car to be in the club. What do you ride?
I drive a 79 Impala, given to me from my grandparents. It's a four-door with a LS60 motor.
Nice. And Billy wants to drive that when we're done taping.
He's not telling you it's a real sleeper.
Keys are in it.
There you go. Keys are in. You got 3 minutes. And, of course, what do you drive, Blaine?
Well, tonight I got one of my Novas that we're going to restore. So I kind of brought that as a survivor car tonight, but we have a couple Novas and one Camaro at home, and a 71 Nova, 73 Nova, and a 72 Nova.
Bill's already scoping that one out as well.
Kind of wanted to touch on a little bit what Cory was talking about our club. We started this club 3 years ago. We welcome anybody to the club that really is into their cars, especially the ones they own. We have cars that are new cars. We have muscle cars of the mid-60s, 70s. We have old rods, and everybody likes the club because we're always out trying to do something, raise some money for charities. And
that's what I was mentioning to Jerry when we started the program. Saturday, the proceeds went to charity, and you have a lot of car shows that, they're pocketing the money because they need it for this or that, or someone's getting paid on the board. Not the case with you guys.
No, what we look for, too, in our charities, we like to call them needy causes. We try to look for things that are local. We try to look for somebody in the tri-state area that really needs some help, and that's what we focus our charities on.
So, we've been bragging about 608 Piston Pounders on TV for like 2 years now. I share everything you guys have on Facebook. Someone watches the program, they want to get involved, whether they have a new car or the 1929, whatever it is. How can they be a part of what you got going on?
Start hanging out with us. We'll get to know you. If we like you, we'll sign you up.
Now, is liking barbecue a prerequisite?
Yeah, you got to like barbecue.
And real quick,
Jerry does a lot for this club.
How did you two get together with this fantastic? I think it's almost like a small family, the way you guys have grown over the past couple of years.
Well, I got to know Jerry when he moved to town here and had the cabinet factory down there, and then he started the restaurant here, and I knew Jerry was into cars, and we started this club, and Jerry wanted to get involved, and it's been just great relationship ever since.
Now, do you ever let him enter his truck that's parked out there, or is that, just too...
He's won many trophies with
I
that
kind of
truck
figured
at
so.
car
Matter of
shows.
fact, we were doing our show from the north side location, I think it was 2 years ago, when Dan Averstead actually drove it into the lot, and it was completely finished. And, of course, he had to give us the go-through. Pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a nice rig.
All righty, once again, how do they get a hold of 608 Piston Pounders if they want more information?
They can reach me at if they want more information, go to our Facebook site, 608 Piston Pounders, and ask to join our site and go from there.
All righty, Blaine Lee with the 608 Piston Pounders Car Club. When we come back, Billy Doc Niles is going to go that way. Matt Henderson is here. Not only does he have his NASCAR late model, but his newly revealed NASCAR Super Late model. He's going to talk more about that next on KQEG TV.
Want to keep your employees happy? Buy them all lunch. Hi, Jerry here at Big Boar BBQ. We cater lunches all the time for businesses big and small, 10 to 500. We can handle it. Give us a call and we'll help you figure out a great menu. Let's face it, good people are hard to find, so we can help you keep the ones you got. My grandpa used to say, you want to keep someone happy? Feed them barbecue. Big Boar BBQ, Highway 16 West Salem.
Just come on down for the best food in town at Big Boar BBQ.
And online at BigBoarBBQ.com.
Welcome back, race fans. Big Boar BBQ presents Seven Rivers Racing here on KQEG, home of the new fried chicken. We just sampled some here before we went on the air. Phenomenal stuff. You can see Matt Henderson, our next guest, nodding his head in approval. And Matt, welcome to the show again. We always love getting you out here for the 608 Piston Pounders show every year. And you got a couple of cars here. So first of all, welcome, and let's talk about the season with the lacrosse car first.
Well, thanks for having us again. We love showing the cars off. As far as lacrosse is going, it's been really a struggle actually this year. I know I talked to you guys earlier in the year, and it's rare that we show up with the same setup 2 weeks in a row. And a lot of people up there are running the same, basically identical stuff, or supposedly anyways. And we were kind of on that same boat, and we just weren't getting anywhere. So we kind of jump ship, and the only way to beat them is to try different stuff. And last week was our first week on a whole completely car. Everything was completely different, and almost had fast time there, and so that was really encouraging. And the car wasn't great in the feature, but the late cautions really helped us out, and we went high, and the car worked not too bad for a few laps out there. So came home third, which is our best this year. So I think we're on the right track finally.
All right, so you mentioned you changed a lot of stuff. I'm assuming shocks, springs, everything went out the window and everything's all different again.
Yeah, pretty much everything front to rear is different than what we've had previously. But this week we're just fine-tuning, so we're going to actually go 2 weeks with the virtually same setup. So.
Well, you just blew my next question. So.
Yeah, we put handcuffs on Dad, so he can't change a whole lot. But yeah, I mean, obviously we still got work to do. There's a few cars there that we qualified pretty well, but when it gets to racing, it's like there's a few cars obviously that are on a different level. So making our car last for more than 5 or 10 laps is what we need to work on. And I think we got a good package now. We just got to fine tune it.
Now the last 2 weeks here, double features both nights. A lot of opportunity to move up the totem pole there.
Yeah, we're really not in it for points this year. My wife and I had to talk, and I said,
that never goes good for the driver, by the way.
Yeah, well, it's rough, It's hard with kids at home and the wife and family, and so we're kind of, I tell her all the time, we're just part-time in it, but I think we missed 1 or 2 nights all year, so we're kind of out of the points, but we got 4 features potentially. We'd hope to win one of them, but I think we can win all 4.
Well, after the performance last week with the new setup, you got to be more than happy and hopeful that top 5 of the next 4 features is within your grasp.
Yeah, I mean, people say all the time we're out here to win. Obviously, that's all of our goals, but our goal is just to be competitive, to go out, have fun, race with the best up there, and be competitive. A top 5 is hard to come by up there because there's a couple fast guys, but anybody could win on any night. We're all so close. So.
All right, now we're going to get to what's standing behind us here, and we only got a couple of minutes left. I went long with lacrosse. I apologize, but beautiful looking car here. For those who haven't heard, give them the history on what this is and where it came from.
Well, this is Johnny Sauter's car that he built a couple years ago. He ran last year at Fest with it and finished second. So it's a really good car. We've always had a dream to own a super late model, so we finally got one. We got a good one. We haven't been able to take it out yet. Just too busy at work, and man, seeing this thing sitting in the race shop, it's not easy to leave it sitting there. So hopefully soon we'll get it out.
You must have the jitters wanting to get behind the wheel of this thing.
Yeah, I hopped in it, to back it out of the trailer, and man, it's comfy in there. So I can't wait to get in it.
All right, Rick, I don't know if you can get a shot of it, but we're going to talk a minute here about some of the charity work you do. Talk about the Down syndrome awareness you guys are into now.
Well, one of our crew guys, Tom Ludwigson and Sandy Ludwigson, their son has Down syndrome and autism. So, I don't know, probably 5-10 years ago now, they asked us to come to an event, and we did. And the kids, you'd never see so many smiles with these kids. So we go to all their events and try and raise awareness about it, and let them sit in the car, and they love it and we love it. So it's a really good thing.
And another thing that you're into, and that's one of the biggest shows on KQEG TV in the December area, is the charity work you do during Christmas time.
Yeah, we're going to do it again this year. We're going to keep it going as long as we can. It's a lot of work, but if you see the faces, even if you see the Christmas list that these people ask for, it's just mind-boggling, just basic necessities, and just to kind of fulfill these kids' dreams, even for one night is pretty special.
I think on behalf of the community, thank you very much for the charity work you do. We got about 30 seconds left. Quickly run through your sponsors for this year.
Well, I haven't won too much this year, so I got my list. Ultra Federal Credit Union, DriveUltra.org, KQEG TV, Riverside Corporate Wellness, Autosport, Custom Excavating, Hungry Peddler, Bond Drywall Supply, Collision Specialist, Hess Excavating, Bernie's Equipment, Crest Precast Concrete, Paul and D. Euler, DJ Dan Diker, Speed Trap Video, and John's Drywall.
And that has been Matt Henderson joining us here. We got to thank everybody here, Jerry and everybody at Big Boar BBQ for having us here, the 608 Piston Pounders for the great show that they put on. Got to thank Rick and Jesse for behind the scenes, and for Dan and Paul, you've been watching Big Boar BBQ present Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV.
You've been watching Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV with Dan the Voice Diker, Billy Doc Niles, and Paul the Statman Riker. Brought to you by Big Boar BBQ, Highway 16 West Salem, in La Crosse on 3rd Street downtown and George and Gillette Street. Big Boar BBQ, now that's a mouthful. By Cory Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialist, serving the La Crosse area since 1929. Cory Heating and Air Conditioning. Thanks for watching Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV.